What is up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the Elite Self Show. It is Monday Motivation, and in true Monday motivation style, I want to bring you a short and sparky little concept that can drastically change your life. And this concept is honestly one of the backbones to achievement, whether we're talking achieving a certain body or achieving a certain self-development goal, becoming a certain version of yourself, or reaching that new milestone in your business. You will come across this concept and it can either work for you or against you. And for some of you, this might just be a bit of a reminder or just some kind of mild reinforcement. For some of you, this can be, like I said, completely life-changing. So let's dive right into it. The concept or the idea or the tool is action precedes motivation. And if we think about it, what really stops us from taking a lot of the action that we know we need to take? Again, whether it's going to the gym or making a call or taking a certain piece of action, a large portion of entrepreneurs refer to this as a lack of motivation. Ultimately, it could look like a bunch of different emotional internal states. There could be anxiety there could be a feeling of overwhelm, there could be fatigue, mental or physical. There could be a number of things that we kind of package as lack of motivation. But ultimately, the way we feel or a kind of state of being is often the thing that prevents us from doing what we know we need to do. And entrepreneurs less than the general public use lack of motivation as an excuse. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs are the ones that are executing despite lack of motivation. But if you can even take it to that next level where lack of motivation becomes even less of a roadblock than it has for you, it will have immediate and profound impacts on your business, on your self-growth, etc. And so the concept or the idea, action precedes motivation, keep it in your mind next time you feel lazy or next time you don't really want to do something. And it's crazy how even just saying it to yourself when you're contemplating doing a hard thing has the power to get you to do that hard thing. And just being aware of the fact that you're not really going to think yourself into a motivated state. You're not going to contemplate and think and plan and ponder and eventually feel like $1 million and feel like you're going to do it. It rarely, if ever, happens that way. And so teaching yourself that it's almost required to execute when you don't feel like it is so powerful. And the best part about it is, again, action precedes motivation, meaning that the motivation comes after you start executing, right? Once, if you're contemplating going to the gym, you don't feel like going to the gym. Sometimes once you're even in the car on the way to the gym, you start to feel a little spark of motivation. Certainly once you start working out, maybe you feel a bit more motivation. And after the workout, you feel more motivation. And that motivation can carry into the rest of your day. It can carry into executing your next hard business task or approaching a hard conversation or whatever it is. And then maybe 3 hours later, you start to feel unmotivated again. And then you do the next hard thing. It gives you more motivation. And eventually you just teach yourself to continue to do the hard thing, do the thing that you know will move the needle forward even though you don't want to. And this will result in just a crazy different trajectory for what you achieve. Again, business, fitness, and otherwise. And one thing you can say to yourself in your head, as well as action precedes motivation, is a tool I like to call standard over state. Meaning that the standards you commit to, standards meaning commitments, like you commit to a certain amount of workouts per week, you could commit to, a certain amount of cold calls per week, you commit to, a certain, self-growth protocol, whatever your standards are or your commitments for your self-growth or your business, they get executed no matter what state of being you're in, right? And this is kind of the same idea as action precedes motivation, where there's going to be certain pockets of your day or certain pockets of your week where you really don't feel like doing anything. And if you're an entrepreneur, you know exactly what I'm talking about, those emotional fluctuations where you're in a, we'll call it a lower emotional state. You do not feel like doing anything, right? And so standard over state, saying it to yourself in your head, similar to saying action precedes motivation, they're very similar ideas, is very powerful because even just saying it in your head is oftentimes enough to go do the thing. And then the best part about standard over state is if you execute the standard while you're in a low state, executing the standard often results in a higher state of being. after you execute it, you often feel that little jolt of, momentum or excitement or enthusiasm or whatever other flavors you'll feel. And so again, I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention because most of you know this, and most of you who know it are also implementing on it. For the percentage of you that aren't really implementing on this concept, this can literally change your life, because if you think about it, if you teach yourself to do 1 to 3 more hard things on a daily basis, what's that going to result in by the end of the year? In 10 years, a completely different life is the answer to that. And even for those of you who are aware of this concept and kind of use it here and there, using it 95% of the time instead of 87% of the time will also make a profound difference in the rate at which you grow. Again, whether it's your fitness, your body, your revenue, like doing the things that you don't want to do, even when you don't feel like it, is, again, the backbone of achievement. So as much as you can say it to yourself intraday, like throughout the day, in those little pockets where you don't feel like doing something, instead of just delaying 5, 10, 15 minutes or going to waste time scrolling social media or just pushing a task to the afternoon or the evening, then again pushing it to the next day. Like, we see this stuff happen all the time. And so if you can teach yourself to do it right now and do it well, that muscle is worth its weight in gold to develop. And so all I wanted to do was, again, remind you and potentially bring it to your attention the first time, so you can, again, equip yourself with this tool and then use it in the trenches to make yourself a more effective entrepreneur and ultimately set yourself up for a higher percentage chance that you're actually gonna max out what you define to be your full potential in business and in life. That's the episode for today, guys. I hope that was useful for you. I hope it inspired a few of you. And I implore you to do the next hard thing right now. If you're able to, if you have time, what is that thing that you've been procrastinating that would move a needle forward, whether it's working on a project or making a call or making a decision? No matter how you feel right now, go do it. Just lean into it and teach yourself that this is what you do now. No matter how you feel, you execute, you get it done, because this is going to be one of the things that separates you from the competition, but more importantly, separates you from previous versions of yourself. This is how you're going to continue to push the envelope. So I hope you do it. Let me know if you do. Hit me up on Instagram and tell me how exactly you took action despite any feelings of lack of motivation or anything else. I would love to celebrate you for taking that step and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So that's the episode for today, guys. Again, hope that was useful for you. See you in the next one. Peace out.